Marriage takes work. If you don't buy that, then you're one of two things: either not married or you're not in a great marriage. If you're not working at your marriage, it will fail. If you're being honest, to take a step back and take a look at your marriage, if it's not going well, it's because you're not giving it the attention it deserves. And sure, you may stay together, and you may see people stay together for decades, especially the older generation. And props to them for that, because marriage should be the joining of two people, and that they do not separate. It's biblical. It's a sacred covenant between a man and a woman, but that doesn't mean you don't pay it any attention. It's a shared relationship, a shared love. Two becomes one, which takes me to what Jesus told these religious leaders who thought they were going to trap him in his words. They tried to constantly, but they thought they had him with the topic of divorce, because there were basically two ways of looking at it. During Jesus' day, the Jewish culture looked at basically two laws, two ways of divorce, how it was permissible. And Jesus says, look, you guys are getting it all wrong. Have you not read? God's word says, in the beginning, in Genesis, Jesus goes back to Adam and Eve, where two were united and they were no longer separate. They were one. And so that should not be separated. What God has brought together, man should not separate. And so Jesus went back to God's word. He didn't pick a side. He didn't think their way, right? His ways of thinking and doing are higher than our ways. He always had a response. And so for us today, some tips to work at our marriage. I've been married long enough. I was just thinking about this morning. More than half of my wife's life. So she just turned 40. We've been together since she was 19 or 20 years old. So we've been together a while. We haven't been married for 20 years. Put me on the spot. We've been married for, I guess it'll be 14 years this year. And so we've learned a few things over the years, and we've grown stronger. And this was actually a good reminder to me to get back to some of these things, to sharpen the saw, as Stephen Covey would say in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. To work at our marriage, to sharpen the things that bring us closer together, because we have had our seasons where we were strong as ever, and we are still going strong. And what I've discovered is when we invest intentionally into one another, whether that be through date nights, once a week, once every other week, once a month, whatever works for you, or just spending quiet time together, talking, being transparent with one another, talking about goals, dreams, aspirations, setbacks, failures, regrets, being open with each other. It's your partner. You should be able to share anything you want with them. And so the more transparent you are, the stronger you will be. Pray together, exercise together, play games together, video games, board games. Include your kids probably in those. And so they can see how you are building into one another. You can be that example for them. Because when you do those things, you are far less likely to even think about divorce and what makes it permissible. When you are being intentional with your relationship with your spouse, divorce will never be a subject. You'll never get to that point, because divorce just doesn't happen, but it's a gradual process of drifting apart. So when you're intentional, that drift is far less likely to happen.